Hey guys, Anthony Ace Michael is back with a special NBA playoff video. I'm going to go through the teams that I like. Remember, this is what I'm playing. It's not financial advice, but it's actually what I'm playing and my bets that I already have in. I know that the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers game had already started, but I'm going to go through each series. I'm going to give who I think is going to win and who I'm going to bet on, and I'm going to go over how many games I think it'll possibly go. Uh, so that's just something that I like to do every year. I do an article normally, but I'm going to try with the video. The article takes a lot of work to do on bestsportspickstoday.com. So I'm just going to go with the video and make it simple, make it fast, be able to watch this pretty quick and get some kind of knowledge on how these teams match up against each other and who essentially I think is going to win. Like I said, last year I went 8-0 in the first round. I did have Miami with a big upset. We're looking for upsets along the way. I think it was a $50 or $25 bet paid 1,900. So we're going to try to spread around a few more of these bets to try to hit. Not that I'm going to go 8-0, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a the three teams that I like the best to advance, and I'm going to put that in a parlay. That's a series parlay, not each game. Whoever's going to win the series. Then I'm going to do a 5 team, and then I'm going to do the 8 team. So worst case scenario, maybe one of the teams loses, takes us out of the 8, but we still got a shot at the 3 or the 5. Like I said, the Cavaliers and the Magic had already started. Magic were plus 186. Both of these teams are young. They match up fairly well against each other. I do like the underdog here in the Orlando Magic. Take the plus 186. I think Cleveland was like minus 230 or something. Just too much for a young team, in my opinion. Yeah, Cleveland can win, no problem, obviously. But I don't think that's the case. I mean, I know a lot of people are leaning on Cleveland here. They haven't proved anything, to me so far. They're still a young team, and they could get eliminated. And Orlando was the team at the beginning of the season. If you watched the video earlier, I'm not sure if I did a video on that, but I've been mentioning that in certain places. Orlando was a team that I felt pretty strong last year, moving on up. Same with Oklahoma City in the West. Those are the two young teams that I felt that they're going to keep making this progress forward, and it's looking that way. So I'm going to take Orlando to win the series plus 186. I'm going to put that in a parlay. Next is the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. Knicks are the 2 seed, and Philly is the 7. Philly has 9 games in a row they've won. I do expect them to lose one of these first 2 games. So that being said, I do expect the Knicks to either be up 2-0 or tied at 1. I like New York here minus the 144. Phillies plus 118. I'm looking on Draft or FanDuel, but DraftKings has something similar. Shop around, try to get the best odds, like I always said. And when you're playing these parlays, make sure to play 2 of them. So on some of these $50 ones, I'm going to play 2 25s, the same bet. There's a button that says, I forget exactly what it says, but I think it's something, once you place your bet, it'll say return to same bet or something, and you click that, and you don't have to put the games in again. But I like New York here. I think New York, had to play Miami last year. And it was a rough series for them. They didn't match up well. They're very happy they don't have to play Miami here. But against Philadelphia, nine games in a row, I do think that the Knicks could easily win this series. I didn't give my prediction in the last one. I think that'll go 6 or 7 games, the Orlando and Cleveland. And I do think this will go 6 or 7 games. I'm going to say 6 here. I think that New York maybe gets it on the road. If not, they're going to have to go back to New York and win it. But minus 144 is definitely a juicy line for me. Here's another one I got scratching my head. I do know Giannis is hurt. Milwaukee Bucks at the Pacers. Pacers are favored to win this series, minus 132. And the Bucks are plus 106 for the series. the Bucks have proven that they could win without Giannis. Pacers are Halliburton is unbelievable, but at the same time, I do think that coaching is going to have a lot to do with it, and experience is going to have a lot to do with it. Yeah, they did well in the play-in or the in-game in-season tournament at the beginning of the season. The Pacers were in the finals there. So they do have that feeling, but it's just not the same feeling. I don't think they could beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series with or without Giannis. Plus 106, give me the Bucks. Celtics minus 8,000. Yeah, you heard it right. Minus 8,000 versus the Miami Heat plus 1,800. There's really no reason to take the Boston Celtics here. Minus 8,000 to win $100. So you bet 8,000 to win 100. Even in a parlay, it's not going to really change anything. And knowing that Miami is a team that's been ruling the East for several years now. Jimmy Butler did get hurt. I do understand. Do you see what they did yesterday? It was the Chicago Bulls. They're a tough team. And coaching, Spoelstra is, I think, one of the best in the league. He knows how to play the Boston Celtics and teams like this. He knows how to beat teams like this. No way it should be 1,800. Boston has never proven anything to me, and I still don't think they're going to win an NBA title until they prove me wrong. They always, the past, 3 years, always the best home team in the league, right? And always one of the best regular season teams, and they proved that again this year. They just can't get over that hump. Are they going to lose in the first round against a beat-up team? Terry Rozier's hurt too. Those are their 2 top scorers. Probably not. But I'm going to put Miami in my parlay. Plus 1,800. Jesus Christ, the payouts you can get for this. So that's going to be my 8-team parlay. Probably not going to hit it. But don't be shocked. Don't let the world shock you if these Miami Heat put up a fight here and maybe steal this series. I'm saying it. There's just something about these 2 teams playing. They did not want to see this team in the first round. Trust me. It's in the back of their heads. It's all going to depend on how they come out of the gate in Game 1. If Miami steals this Game 1, which they're 14-point underdogs, they have the shooters. They need to get hot. They haven't gotten hot. They still win the game, an in-play game. They didn't look great. If these guys have several three-point shooters on the Miami Heat, I know I am not talking about the Boston Celtics at all here. They have great individual players. They have some of the best individual players. They added Porzingis. They got Holiday, right? So those are 2 key players to win a championship, and I do realize that they have a lot of all-stars in that lineup. I would say 4 of the 5 are all-stars. But it's a lot closer than people think. Is Boston going to sweep this team? I don't think so. I mean, going into Miami is going to be tough. South Beach, bringing the heat, right? It's all dependent on Game 1. If Miami could keep this game close, even if they lose a close game, Boston's going to be worried. If Boston comes in a blowout and then wins in Game 2, it's going to be all downhill from there for Miami, I do believe. But I do expect a punch. I do accept a punch being thrown. Throw them in there. I mean, I'm throwing them in there for a huge payout. The reason why I won so much money last year is because of the Miami Heat. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to take them. But I will not take the Heat in my 3 and 5 game parlays. That'll be a team I leave out. I'm never going to put Boston at minus 8,000 in there. All right, let's go to the West. We got the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. There was a sweep last year. Lakers had the lead in the majority of these games, and they blew it at the end. Denver's only minus 400, and Boston's minus 8,000. Let that sink in a little bit, okay? The team that was in the NBA championship last year is plus 1,800. And the team in the Western Conference Finals that got swept is only plus 300. I understand injuries do play a role, but to an extent, right? I just think Denver is great value here. Throwing 400 to win 100, it sounds crazy, but I don't see anybody really challenging Denver in the West in a 7 game series. They're just, in a class of their own. It's going to come down to the NBA Finals, I do believe. Denver is going to be super tough. They look better than they did last year, and look at what they did in the playoffs. They're healthy. Another year experience together. It's gonna be hard. So minus the 400 is definitely a play. I'm gonna put Denver in my 3 team, in my 5 team, and my 8 team parlays. Make sure you make 2 bets of each. But Denver is gonna be a lock. Yeah, 400. It sounds like it's a high line, but not for the defending champions to be out in the first round. I don't care if it's LeBron, Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan. I really don't care at this point who's on this team to get past Denver. You would need, an elite team. Not that the Lakers are not, and they've been, sitting back a little bit, but they brought it on at the end of the year, so they used a lot of that energy to make this 7th seed. They are an older team. Remember that. I don't think the Lakers have a chance to win this series. Suns and Timberwolves. At meaning they're the home team, so the Timberwolves are the home team, but yet the home team is plus 114, and the Phoenix Suns are minus 140 now. A lot of people are betting the Phoenix Suns. I kind of agree with this. I mean, Phoenix is one of those teams I do not believe in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to go out early again. They were in the NBA championship a few years back. Didn't look good for them in that game, but they did seem to do well in the West, and this is the same team that's coming in here. They're healthy, right? I think Devin Booker needs to take a step back. He's the reason why they lose a lot of these games. He doesn't have control at the end of games. He makes stupid mistakes. If they could control Devin Booker, the Phoenix Suns are going to win this game. I would say upset because they are the 6th seed going against the 3 seed. But Kevin Durant and company coming in. Minnesota's a very, very young team. I do like this team a lot for the future. I think their future is bright, but I do think they get knocked out of the first round. And I like Phoenix Suns here to be in all 3 of my parlays, maybe just 2 of them. I'll have to go through the parlays at the end that I already had placed, but this is definitely one of them. And if you're going to get these parlays in, series parlays, and if Orlando loses this first game, that plus 186 will go a little bit better odds. So you'll probably get better bang for your buck if you continue to put Orlando in there. Just because there's certain sports books that won't let you bet once the games start. But, if you could get your bet in between the end of this game and then the beginning of the next game, you'll be able to get your 8 teams in. And then if not, you wait till the next day, If you don't get it in at all, you could get your bets in before the Sunday games. Just the odds will be a little bit different. If the favorite wins, obviously, it's not going to be in your favor. But we're taking some underdogs here, and we're taking some shots. And I really like our chances here. So just keep that in mind. Los Angeles Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. This is a 4-5 game. Dallas is minus 176 is pretty surprising. Clippers are plus 142. Clippers are another team that I don't have a lot of faith in when it comes to the playoffs. They have the best players too. I mean, man, if you look at their lineup and you look at their bench, they're fire. They're simply fire. Dallas, coming in, has some big names on that team also. Doesn't have the depth that the Clippers do. This is a hard game to pick. And when there's a hard game to pick and a hard series to pick, I go with the underdog here. I like the Clippers, and I have always liked the Clippers to win an NBA title. I had them a few years back to make it to the NBA Finals. They didn't. Last year, I thought they had a shot. They didn't. they just don't have that next step. But to get out of the first round, I think they could definitely at plus 142. Nice and juicy. I like it. I like the Clippers here. I probably won't put them in all my parlays, but definitely a team that I like as an underdog to get out of the first round. Nothing against Luka. The man's amazing, and I do want to see him win this. But I just like the Clippers here. So in heart, I'll be rooting for Dallas, but it's going to be hard to beat the Clippers. Oklahoma City and the New Orleans Pelicans. Whew. Oklahoma City minus 650. This is about what Boston, maybe Boston should have been minus 1,000, 1,200, not 8,000. This is a 1 seed versus an 8. Oklahoma City minus the 650 is going to be super tough. I'm going to put them in all 3 of my series parlays. I just feel that I probably won't put them in my 3 team because they're minus 650 and then their payout won't be big. But definitely my 5 team and definitely in my 8 team because I'm taking one from each series. Pelicans, no Zion. They won yesterday. They beat a Kings team that's banged up. No Malik Monk on that team. No Herter on that team. Those are the 2 guys that bring the heat with those 3-pointers. You've seen their 3-pointers were down on Sacramento. I can't believe I'm still talking about Sacramento. I had them going pretty far. But that's how it goes sometimes. You need to be healthy, and that's what I always say. Look for the most healthy team and look for the most experienced team, but not the oldest team, right? So the Lakers are the oldest team, I would think, but I would think Denver is probably the most experienced now. So those are kind of things that you look for, and you definitely look at coaching too. I did like Doc coming to, the Celtics. And there's a couple other coaches that I like in the playoffs. I can't see certain coaches winning. The Pelicans are one of them. They'll be eliminated first round. I know that Oklahoma City Thunder are a young team. They score a lot of points. They win at home. They're very tough. It's a team that I loved at the 6th seed last year. I loved them, and they didn't win that series. I knew they would move up the ladder. Didn't think they'd be 1. I figured they'd be top 3, which they were. And at the end of the season, it just so happened they got the 1 seed. Everything going according to plan here. I do think the Thunder wins this. It's going to be a rough next series if they play the Clippers, but we will see how it turns out. And that's kind of how I'm looking here. The teams, the breakdowns, everything there. Let me see if I could get on my... I got it here already, my FanDuel account. So I had the Magic plus 164, Phoenix minus 140, Denver minus 420. I actually did a 6 team too. The Knicks minus 115 at the time I locked it in. The Clippers were plus 110. Now you're getting better odds. And the Bucks were still 106. So I played that one twice. Here's my 8 team for $20. Okay, I did 20. I did 20 on this one twice instead of 25. The payout's big. It's almost 20,000 for 20. So it'd be 40,000 for 40. I got Orlando plus 168, Phoenix minus 140, Knicks minus 138, which they're better now. Denver minus 400. I took the Heat plus 1,800. The Clippers plus 118. They're better now. And then the Bucks 106, and the Thunder minus 650. So I mean that's some of the ones that I got a 4-teamer here now. Let's see. What's the 4-teamer? I got so many bets here. I can't find. It must not be on DraftKings. Here's a 4-teamer that I put in too. So I didn't just go the 3-team, the 5-team, and the 8. I did 3, 4, 6, and 8. 3, 4, 6, and 8. Yep. And so the four-teamer here is the Phoenix Suns minus 140, the Knicks minus 115, the Nuggets minus 420, and the Bucks plus 106. For $100, it pays $817. I got that in twice. So that's not bad. A $1,600 ticket. I like all these teams. I like them a lot. Make sure you shop around. Another prop bet. I'm not a big prop bet guy. I know who's going to win the games a lot of times, but I don't know who's going to score because it all depends on how matchups go. Smart coaches, what they do is they bench a guy or they tell that guy not to shoot as much and they listen. Some players don't listen. Devin Booker's one of those guys. Don't listen. Hate to keep bashing him, but there's a few guys like that in the league that just don't listen, and that's why I don't think that those teams could win. But I like Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jimmy Butler's out, right? Terry Rozier's out. And Jaquez is only over 13.5 points. He might get that in the first quarter. He had 8 right away. He scored the first 8 points. He's one of my favorite rookies in the league. I loved him on UCLA. I loved watching that team. He's just a team player. He's not going to make many mistakes as a rookie. He listens to coaches, and he makes a team better. Now he's getting a chance here to make a name for himself in the spotlight. Watch Jaime Jaquez Jr. go off. But that's about all I got, guys. A couple NBA Finals tickets. I put the Lakers in the Heat. I do that almost every year if they're great odds because certain referees want certain players to win, and LeBron is one of those players, so I always kind of stick him in there, which I don't really care for LeBron too much. I like the Suns. I like the Bucks. Those are teams that I like to advance, and I also like the Denver Nuggets, maybe to go back-to-back here. We'll see who they play in the East, but Anthony Ace signing off, guys. It's a little bit longer video than normal, but make sure you get those bets in, guys, and let's cash in.